Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Can I start by commending my honourable friends for their impassioned maiden speeches? I am so proud to be sitting on these benches with you. I'm incredibly honoured to be speaking for the first time in this House as a Member of Parliament for Peckham, a new constituency that spans from the oak trees of Nunhead Ceremony to the spires of St Giles Church, the African food shops of Peckham, the bustle of Rye Lane, the market stalls of Faraday's East Street, the vibrant mosques of Old Kent Road and the Latin Quarter of North Walworth. Ours is a community of community that represents the very best of multicultural Britain. People of different colours, cultures, faiths, backgrounds, united in our openness and acceptance of each other, pride in our diversity and the magic it brings to Peckham, and our warmth and generosity of spirit. Whoever you are, wherever you've come from, you'll find your place in Peckham. Yeah. And for me, this is what makes representing this constituency so special, because it was amongst friends and the Sierra Leonean community in Peckham that my family found refuge when we fled from West Africa when I was a child. It was in this community that I learnt the values of compassion and solidarity that have shaped my politics. And in this community that I first understood just how much the economy is failing people. That you can work hard every day and still live in poverty. That our kids can be talented and still deprived the shot. That you can have billionaires living in the same borough as families that cannot feed their kids. And it's in Peckham that I found my resolve that this must change. That's why I became an economist. That's why I've spent the last 15 years developing and campaigning for ideas to bring this change about. That's why I am standing here today. And as I begin my journey in this House, I take inspiration from my formidable predecessor, Harriet Harman, our inaugural Mother of the House. Harriet set the highest possible bar for what it means to be a great MP. 42 incredible years of service working for the people of Camberwell and Peckham. And in knocking doors across Peckham, I heard story after story about how Harriet helped her constituents and touched countless lives. And at a time when trust in our politicians is so frayed, the warmth, the love, the trust that she commands in our community speaks volumes. But more than that, she combined tireless work in her constituency with huge impact on our politics nationally, whether through enduring policies like the minimum wage, the winter fuel payment, the Equality Act, that went to the heart of the inequality she saw in our community, or the trail she blazed for women in politics, breaking ceilings and carving a path for others to follow, so that today there are 190 Labour women MPs in this House standing on her shoulders. Yeah. And on a personal note, I will always be grateful for her kindness, wisdom and grace, and for showing me what it means to be fearless in defence of your constituents, loyal but independent of mine, and tenacious about the change that is needed. And the need for change has never been so great. As we debate the economy today and all the uncertainties it brings, there is one thing I know for certain. People in Peckham are struggling. Their pay packets have flatlined for too long. Their safety net cut to shreds. Over a third can't afford day-to-day essentials, and too many of our children now live in poverty. But it's not just about the money in your pocket. It's the fact that something as basic as a decent roof over your head that you can afford is now out of reach for so many. That our schools, our youth services, our hospitals, our care system are at breaking point. And that children in my school tell me that they only feel safe at home or at school, nowhere in between. People in Peckham need change. Not words or the promise of change that never comes, but real, tangible change that they can feel in their communities and see in their lives. Change that will end that sense of being ground down, end the constant survival mode that so many people find themselves in, and rekindle that hope that has been beaten out. And the weight of responsibility to deliver this now sits with me and all my honourable friends on this side of the House. And whilst the task feels insurmountable, what gives me hope is that our side have always grasped for big ideas to change the country when we have needed to. the NHS, social housing from the rubble of war, the minimum wage. We have always been the party of big ideas. We have done it before at moments of crisis. Now we must do it again. And as we find solutions to the challenges in front of us, as a proud Labour and cooperative MP, I hope we will draw inspiration from the deep traditions of our movement, the enduring force of cooperation, putting power back in local hands, creating businesses by local people for local people, trusting communities like Peckham to decide their own future, and giving them ownership and a stake in their economy, so that we can deliver the change that my constituents and constituents across the country have given us a mandate to. And so, my final words, Madam Deputy Speaker, if you will allow me, are to my constituents. To the people laying awake at night, worried about bills, the traders fighting for survival of the businesses they have built, the families that can't afford a home to lay down their roots, the people that can't get the care that they need, the kids that don't feel safe in our community. I want you to know this. I have listened to every conversation we have had. I've heard your worries, your anger, your frustration, your hopes. And I make one promise to you. In everything I do in this House, I will keep you in my mind's eye. I will be your loudest voice, your fiercest defender, and your proudest champion. I will fight every day to deliver the change that you deserve. I will serve you. Thank you.